Hey everyone, and welcome back to Small Screen Sagas. I'm your host, Nicole, and today we're talking about the show from Season 2, Episode 4, entitled This Way Gone. This was an okay episode. It was not bad. It was not, like, overwhelmingly good where it ends and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't wait for next week. But it was like, okay, we're seeing people have some conversations. They're moving things along. You have to have something like this in every show to sort of keep the story going and moving along. So I think they set it up really nice for next week with Randall in the bus. That's what I'm excited to see. Jim, Donna, Tabitha, are they going to learn more about the voice on the radio? So more excited for what's going to happen with Randall. What is he going to see? Is he going to make it or survive that night out on the bus? Because can they shake the bus? I don't know. They shake the bus and the talisman fall over. We'll get to it in just a moment. I want to start off with some of the smaller storylines, and then we'll move to the bigger ones as we progress. All right, so we had Mariel. Tabitha met Mariel for just a quick second. Quick scene. The only reason why I'm even talking about it now is because Mariel was looking through the medicine cabinet, and she goes, oh, no worries. I'm a nurse. I'm here helping Christy, with the inventory. And I would have bought that because we know she's a nurse. She looks like she is doing inventory. But the way the camera just panned on her after Tabitha walked away and she kind of still stared makes me wonder if Mariel was doing something else in that cabinet. Now, I'm not saying she's addicted to drugs or anything like that, looking for a fix. It's possible. There's plenty of people in the medical field who are nurses, doctors, and they're definitely addicted to drugs. So I'm not saying that can't be it. But I don't think that's it. If I had to take a guess, like if I had to throw a theory out there, I'm thinking she's looking at the names of all of the names that's on the drugs, like on the prescriptions. And maybe she's going to see if she recognizes a name that she knows, or I don't know. For some reason, I just feel like that is what she's doing. She's looking at the names. Now, it just came to mind. It'd be interesting if she already helped Elgin. She knows Elgin was on the bus screaming, turn around and all that. Did she just on accident come across a prescription that had Elgin's name on it? Saying, like, implying that he's been here before. And then now she's actually digging, doing her own research and digging, saying, like, whose names else are on here? Could anyone else from the bus have a prescription that's already somehow here as if they've been here before? That's a weird theory. It's a crazy theory. I just thought about it. Wanted to throw it out there. I'm pretty sure if she was up to something, we'll see it next week or the following week. And if she was up to nothing, then this was just a theory that went nowhere, like all the other theories online so far. All right. Then we have the old lady. I didn't have a problem with the old lady. That's the one that was dancing in the rain when they first got there from the bus. And my apologies for calling her old lady. I just don't know if they've said her name yet. Maybe they did. I don't know. But she goes and talks to Boyd. I keep seeing people online say that she's suspicious. So maybe that's why she's sort of suspicious in my mind, because I keep hearing online that she's suspicious. Or she could be suspicious. I don't know. Jim questioned her, and that was a little weird when he questioned her, like as if he didn't trust her. Boyd didn't seem to have a problem with her, but he was too busy to talk with her. But I am thinking just back to that last episode when Jim was like, where were you guys going? Asking these questions. It was almost like he was grilling her a little. So maybe nothing. Could be something. Could be. I mean, the old man Martin did say there are worse things out here than the monsters that come out at night. But if they start having monsters that can be out walking around in the day, all willy-nilly, that's going to be too much. That's just paranoia overload if that happens. So we'll see. Maybe nothing with the lady. We'll find out shortly, I'm sure. Then we got Julie, Fatima, Elgin. Another quick small scene. Julie takes Ethan to go see Victor, which we'll talk about next. And she does come across Fatima. And Fatima asks her to be her bridesmaid. And she's like, yes, we're going to get married here. That's crazy. What I did like and appreciate is that there was zero weirdness between them. If you remember, the last time they saw each other was when Julie asked Fatima, can she kiss her? And that was the night of her party, the night the colony house and monsters came in. And they haven't really seen each other since then because it's just been go, go, go craziness since then. So I appreciate that they didn't make it awkward. They didn't make it weird. And it's almost like with this season 2, that's the only difference with when a storyline from a season 1 to a season 2 is like so close together. It's different like when the old shows where, you know, they come back from season 1 to season 2 and it's like over summer break, you know, time has passed. And whenever you have a cliffhanger, such as we did in season 1, you got to make everything look like no time has passed. And it's clear in this scene how much more mature Julie is. And it's like, it's not mature over 5 days. It's mature over 5 months, you know, from season 1 to season 2 probably airing. But also it's because in 5 days she has gone through something that most people, 99.9% of the world, will never go through. So it does mature and make you grow up a little faster. So that could be it too. But I just feel like Julie feels a lot older this season than she did last. But she goes and talks to Elgin. Nothing really came from that conversation. She just said, hey, I'm here if you need to talk to me, if you need to talk to anyone. But I do want to bring it up because I feel like they are going to talk. I feel like Elgin may eventually open up. And since Julie was just a friendly person that came up and talked to her, they didn't say much today, but I have a feeling that their connection is going to go stronger. I'm not saying anything like romantically or anything like that, but I do think they're going to become friends, or at least Elgin will open up to her. So we'll see. I know I say we'll see for everything. We'll see. Yeah, duh. We'll see. But I just keep saying it. All right. Bus driver and Jade. Now, this was a good conversation. Actually, I'm kind of disappointed in how the conversation ended up going because I thought it was going to go a completely different direction. So they're both at the bar having a pity party. No music. Like when Jade is warming up to me. Every episode, he goes slowly more away from asshole, I don't like you, to asshole, but you're funny and I like you. So I'm on Team Jade. He's won me over. But him and the bus driver, I think her name tag said Bacta. They're at the bar, and she says, that boy said to me, he begged me to turn around. And I didn't listen to him. When Jade says when, I was like, yes, they're getting somewhere. They're going to realize they need to go talk to Elgin. Like, I got so excited. I was like, this conversation is about to get very dark. Because Jade, Mr. I'm smarter than everybody, is going to realize that Elgin knows more than what he's said. I mean, he hasn't said much yet. His reaction of turn around, I need to know about this dream. Was it just a dream? What did you see in this dream that made it feel so real when you woke up, you realized where you were? Or was it more than just a dream? Have you lived here before? Something makes me think he's lived here before. So I thought that's where Jade was going with that conversation, but he didn't. He said, oh, well, if you saw it after the tree, then you're fine. You were already here, you know? So there's nothing you could have done differently anyways. And I like the joke that he makes when she's like, I ruined their lives. And he's like, they were riding on the bus. Their lives couldn't have been that great to begin with. So Jade, like, it's an asshole thing to say, but funny. Like, just funny, you know? And then when Bacta, aka the bus driver, when she says she wasn't even supposed to drive that day, but she wanted a little reward after graduating, she wanted to make extra money so she can, you know, afford a trip to go somewhere after just graduating. And this is she drove. And here she was driving for a few more weeks. And here she is when she could have just stopped when she graduated. So it makes you think once again, are these people here specifically for a reason? Do they end up here by mistake? Or are all these people like specifically chosen? And even Jade says, well, shit, I just sold my company for a whole bunch of money and now I'm living the worst life ever. So they both feel like that's all they gotten is shit. Instead of when something really big and good happened in their life, now this happened. Which is funny because on the opposite end, we got Jim, who something really bad happened. Him and his wife were about to get divorced, and then this happened. But then Boyd also had something good happen to him. He got the boat he always wanted, and then this happened. So everyone has their own little story. Either they were they were having the best time in their life and excited for something new, and then this happened, or they were having the worst time in their life and needed a change, and then this happened. It doesn't sound like there's that much of in between from the characters so far that we've all heard their stories of how they ended up there. And then we have Tabitha and Jim. Jim tells her about the man on the radio, and he says like about him and his job and building roller coasters. And he says the more impossible it seems, the more higher reaction we get from people. And I've mentioned haunted houses before, and how, haunted houses, they're really good. Like, they're really scary. It feels real, and it looks very real. The realer it looks, the scarier it is, but it's fake. And he's saying, what if this is some fucked up experiment? Because I don't know if that guy was warning me or threatening me, but someone's watching us. I believe someone's watching us. They knew my name. They knew you were digging here, and we need to know more. And that's when Tabitha said, well, hey, has anyone else heard this conversation? Did anyone else hear the man on the radio? And that's when we get Donna and Jim have their conversation. And Donna, I don't know, I was kind of surprised by her reaction. She's like, yeah, I heard that man. And if he knew all that, he could see us, knows your name. What is he going to do when he finds out that we know he can see us? And I sort of get the logic, but at the same time, Donna, he has to know that you know that he can see you. He spoke to you and said your name. What does he think that you think at this point? That's like if someone calls me right now and says, Nicole, stop that podcasting. What the fuck? How do you know I'm podcasting? I'm going to assume they can see me. I don't need to speak it out loud. Oh no, they can see me because they said I was podcasting. I know they saw me because they know what I'm doing. So I get what she's getting at, but I don't get the logic because I'm like, he knows that you guys know. But at the same time, I get what she's saying when she's like, we don't even know if that was a human. These monsters that come out, they can talk and speak and act human. So we don't know who was on the radio. Let's just shut up. We don't want to scare anybody else, any more of the residents. Let's just shut up until we know more. So I sort of agree with that. Yeah, at the same time, I just didn't agree with her saying, like, we can't let them know that we know. Girl, it's too late. Because if they don't even know that you know, I'm lost. I'm at a loss for it. I can't even explain how that would be possible. But Jim does ask about the radio. Donna says it's out back. It did get damaged in the storm, which lets me know it's going to be a few episodes before Jim can get that radio up and working again. Then we have a quick scene with Christy and Boyd after he kind of tumbles and Kenny calls for help. And he doesn't tell her about the worms, of course. He does mention the spider bites. He keeps thinking maybe I'm tripping because of those spider bites. Like maybe I'm seeing stuff because of the spider bites. And I love that he's like sort of in denial. Like he's like, could it be the spider bites that's making me see these worms? So she's like, you need to take it easy, chill. And he does ask, like, could this Parkinson's have anything to do with like my brain and my cognitive? And she's like, no, that isn't coming to the end. Like you're barely showing signs of it. Is something else going on? But of course, Boyd doesn't tell her anything. Now, Boyd does have a pretty crazy yet honest conversation with Father Khatri. Now, if y'all remember, Father Khatri died in season 1 when the calling house was attacked, if you remember, and when they were getting everyone out of the van, Father Khatri, gets throat slit right before he gets back inside. So Father Khatri is dead. We know that, even though it's last season for us, it's probably like a week for them at this point. But he's having this conversation with Boyd, and he tells him there's no benefit of you telling Kenny what Sarah did. Like, what's done is done. That's going to piss him off. He's going to want her to go in the box. That's going to cause so much more problems. You were his father figure. Keep this secret for him. Keep it to protect him. And he says, because broken people don't survive here. Now, Boyd is a little shocked at first that he sees Father Khatri, but he just kind of goes with it. He's like, fuck, this is happening now. I can see you and you're dead. And he literally has the conversation with him. It does make me wonder, will Boyd have the ability to talk to others who have also died there? I mean, there's not enough evidence yet to say yes or no, but Father Khatri was in the same place that he died in. Remember, he died at the post office there. So I would like to see if he can talk to others, because if he can, that means he can talk to Abby. We already heard Abby relay a message to Sarah, although Sarah didn't see Abby. But I do wonder if he'll be able to see Abby and talk to her and have get some real answers from the other side of wherever she is. Then back at the colony house, we have bad boy Randall over here punking someone. He's beating somebody up. I was getting pissed. I was getting pissed because I'm like, hold on, who is he beating up? Is this another bus rider with him that he's beating up? Like someone else that's just randomly there from the bus? Or is this a colony house resident that already lived there? Because I'd be damned if I get my ass whooped in my own house. I'd be damned if I get my ass whooped in my own house while people who I lived with already sit and watch. So I wasn't really I was mad at Randall for beating him. But at the same time, I'm like, this dude ain't got no friends, no family in this house with him that's going to not just sit there and watch him get punked and kicked in the stomach. Ultimate disrespect. I'm actually surprised Donna let it slide at that moment. Especially what he said to her. You touch my shit, touch my stuff, I will smack the fucking shit out of you. Who are you talking to? No, Donna, I was mad at Donna in this scene. And then I'm mad at the rest of the calling out. Y'all been through too much. Y'all see monsters come out every night. And you guys are scared of Randall. You're going to sit there and let Randall beat up one of your residents or one of your fellow housemates and then talk to your leader like that? If the leader didn't do anything, which she did in that moment, I just kind of lost my respect for the colony house people. I know they're hippies, they're loving, we're chill, we're crazy. But no. You don't get to come in our house after just one night here and start trying to change the rules, beating residents up, talking shit, talking about who you are and aren't gonna smack. You have one little bag with you that you brought from with you on the bus. Get over yourself. You can probably trade and get more and have a better value of your belongings by trading with people. But Randall's ignorant, and his ignorant self had to learn a lesson, because Donna starts thinking about it later and she realizes, hold on, I'm Donna. I don't let nobody talk to me this way. I don't let nobody beat up my residents or the housemates here in Colony House. This is a safe space. So she kicks Randall out. She got that axe, hit it against the wall, told him to pick up his shit and get out. I actually thought of Waiting to Exhale in that scene. Get your shit and get out. But yeah, she kicked him out, takes him to the bus. The bodies are gone, but they only do the bare minimum of a cleanup here. They'll clean up the bodies. They're not going to leave a body laying around. But it seems like they just leave the blood stains. It's just part of the decoration now. So he gets on the bus. There's stains, there's blood stains all over. That in itself would freak me out. I don't even know how he looked at it and was just okay. It looked like he might have been scared, but he didn't want to show that fear in front of Donna. So he kind of was just okay. And then he even did. He said, you made your point. And she's like, no, I did not. Because look at you. You still have an attitude. You still look like you think your shit don't stink. You haven't learned my point. You may or may not survive here overnight. I mean, she didn't say that part. But she puts the talisman up in the window, lets him know it cannot fall under any circumstances, or it's going to be just like a regular rock. The bus has no curtains. He better hurry and get curtains now. Get something to make a curtain out of while it's still daylight. But if not, he's going to see everything. And that's what I'm looking forward to next episode. It's going to be so good. I mean, they better not disappoint. They better not disappoint. I don't want to come back next episode and Randall done come to his senses and he's in Mrs. Lou's house or whatever. I want him on that bus. I want him to see it all. I want it to be freaking scary. But I do want him to survive. Because if he dies, then it's we don't even get to rub it in his face. He's dead. I want him to survive that night and come crawling back begging Donna to let him stay and him be a whole different person. So I don't want him to die. I want him just to have the scariest night of his life and learn from it, because clearly that's what he needs in order to become a better person. So then we have the big story: Boyd, Kenny, Sarah. We get a flashback of Kenny bringing his dad to the clinic. His dad does not want to stay. He wants them all to stay together. But they just had an incident the night before. Luckily, it doesn't sound like it got that bad, or they wouldn't be here the next day to tell us about it. But the dad tried to open the door and everything like that. Now, I don't know why they thought this was the answer. Like, oh no, dad woke up and tried to open the door. We got to keep him and ourselves safe. Let's ship him off to somebody else and let the clinic people handle it. Like, I don't get that reasoning. They told him before they even got to this town, they told Kenny and his mom, the doctors, this is without monsters, you need to tie him up at night. You need to do something in order for him not to leave the house. That's how they ended up in this place in the beginning, because they didn't listen and he got out and now they chased him down and they ended up here. So when he does it here at a very much more dangerous place, I don't get why there wasn't other things already in place at the house. You lock the windows down, lock the door. He's an elderly man. He can't be that strong. Well, I don't know. I don't know how strong he is. But they could have handled this and still kept him in the house. I don't get why they thought this was the answer. Like, and I'm not judging anyone for putting someone in this situation in an elderly home or anything like that. It's different when it's like a regular world. But like here, we're not leaving at each other. This is too scary. We don't know if we're going to survive the night. So we're going to figure out how to keep this house safe enough so we can all stay here overnight. At least that's how I felt. But Miss Lou kind of says, hey, you'll come back when you get better. And then we see Kenny go outside and he starts to break down. And that's when Boyd comes up and says, hey, why don't you be my deputy? You know, he tells Boyd what happened. Be my deputy. I need someone to watch my six. And that was like the little flashback that we got. And it was nice seeing just how innocent Kenny is. He's probably my favorite character. It's so hard to see him so sad and mad and angry right now. And there's a lot of feelings. His dad died. He found out Sarah did it. He found out, oh my gosh, my mom's been crying and blaming herself. And it wasn't my dad's fault. And all of these feelings. And then even with Christy, everyone keeps asking about Christy. Last week we had Ellis ask him. Now his mom's like, have you talked to Christy? I would just want to cringe and die. Like, everyone knows that the crush I had, her girlfriend now showed up and now we can't even talk anymore. It would just be awkward and embarrassing and just like, leave me alone. Stop talking about the crush that I never had. Like, let's just let it go. It doesn't help you guys bring it up. But Kenny takes Boyd to Sarah. She explains how she ended up there in the tree. Like, after going through the tree, she ends up there in the church basement, while Boyd ended up with Martin. And she tells him about the little boy in white. Now, she doesn't call him little boy in white. She says, little boy, da-da-da, he talked to me. He said, Dathan was right. Get in the tree. We'll be safe there. He was wearing all white. So since she give that detail, hopefully Boyd remembers that. And hopefully somehow he ends up talking to Ethan. Because we know Victor's not going to tell anyone. He hasn't told anyone all these years. But maybe he talks to Ethan and finds out some information. Or someone that knows about the boy in white. But Boyd tells her being here is a problem. He's not going to put her in the box, but he does have to figure out something else because once everyone sees her here, they're not going to like it. And mind you, most people don't know that she left that clinic door open. Like, I don't even know who all knows. Kenny clearly didn't know, so I'm going to assume a lot of people don't know that she did that. Which, speaking of, I didn't know they thought that Kenny's dad opened the door. Because the whole point of him being at the clinic was so he wouldn't be able to open the door. So I just assumed the clinic's doors were somehow unopenable. Or I don't know, not unopenable. Clearly they can open, but maybe they can't. I don't know. I just assumed if he was there for that reason, how would he have been able to open the door? But clearly that's what they thought happened. I didn't know what they thought happened. I thought they just thought it was a freak accident that the door was open. So Boyd tells Kenny she's connected to this place. She hears voices. I know it sounds crazy. Father Khatri knew all about it. He had the proof. They're using her. And Kenny says using her like a pawn. Pawn, reference to chess. His dad plays chess, but there may be something there. I think when they use certain words or certain things, we just need to listen out for them and see if it comes up later. Like, are they all just pawns on this chess piece or whatever? Does Jim have a point? Is this some freaking weird experiment? I just watched The Jury on Amazon Prime. It was a comedy, but what I'm saying is you can trick people to thinking something's real, and really it's just they're part of the show. But I don't know how you do that and kill people. I mean, that's taking a whole nother level. But Boyd's like, she killed those people. And Kenny was like, what people? She only killed one person. I thought that was kind of weird that Kenny like hammered in on it, like killed people versus killed person. It doesn't really matter. She killed a person. So it doesn't matter if he's plural or singular. The fact that they had Kenny listening on that, like, let me know. Kenny's going to find out real quick what happened. But Kenny's like, nah, she needs to go into the box and everything like that. And I believe that's when the worms actually start showing up. Boyd gets dizzy, and that's when he goes and gets help. So while Boyd is off doing that, that's when Sarah and Kenny have a one-on-one, and she tells him. Like, honestly thought when he went back for Kenny and Sarah at the church, and the old lady stopped him, I was like, oh my gosh. While she's talking to Boyd, Kenny is in there beating Sarah's ass. Like, I thought he was going to kill her. Like, I thought it was going to get that dark because I knew how mad Kenny was. So I was like, oh man, they're going to have Kenny go dark. He's going to either shoot her or like beat her to death. It's going to be gross. So that's what I thought was happening. But when the lady's like, no, he ran off to the clinic, I was like, damn, he knows. So when Kenny's talking about how his mom was crying every night, she blamed herself, I was like, oh. I'm like, now I can see how this hurts a little bit more. Like, the guilt has been eating her up. I didn't know she felt guilty. I thought she was just sad. But yeah, that's hard to think that you caused it or you could have prevented something, and then it turns out, no, it was not your fault. It is very dark, and I understand Kenny's reaction completely. Like, he's gonna need time to cool down, but it was just so sad seeing him. Like, I think the actor did an amazing job. Like, I was just looking like, no, Kenny, I didn't want you to be hurt. Like, I didn't want you to know because I didn't want you to be hurt. But at the same time, I get you don't want to be lied to. You don't have this big of a secret kept from you. But damn, it just hurt seeing him that sad. And like, when he takes off his little deputy badge, that's not funny. I'm laughing because I'm just uncomfortable. So when he takes off his deputy badge and like, he's like, watch your own fucking six. I was like, oh my gosh, this is awkward. I'm like, this is too, I get uncomfortable during awkward stuff. And I was just uncomfortable. I was like, this is sad. It's awkward. It's uncomfortable. I don't know how Boyd is going to get back in Kenny's good grace. But if we remember, maybe he should tell Boyd should tell Kenny how upset he was when Father Cautry first told him he kept Sarah. Remember, he pulled a gun on Father Cautry. So he should get Kenny's anger, because look how mad he was with Father Cautry. And that was when he didn't even know about everything and know about the clinic. I don't even think at that point. He only knew about Ethan, and Nathan. So yeah, Boyd just needs to give him some time. It's just that time is, as much as time as it feels like they don't have that much time to talk. Like, so much is be going on during the day, and then they're all at their own homes at night. So we'll see. Maybe Kenny just needs like a night to decompress, and hopefully he doesn't do or say anything that he can't take back. And then I thought that was the last story, but I skipped over Victor and Ethan. That was such a sad / sweet conversation. It was barely a conversation. It was just poor Ethan apologizing. But I'm not even here to bash Victor, for his reaction, because, and I'm not making excuses for Victor either, but his mind is still somewhat a kid. He grew up here. So him talking to Ethan, they're like talking as equals. I'm not calling Victor a kid. I'm not saying he has the mind frame of a kid. But in some ways he does. Like, the things he keeps to himself, I'm not even judging him about the drawings or anything like that. I get it. Everyone has their own creative way of expressing themselves. But I was not mad at him on how he treated Ethan, because they're equals in this sense, So when he tells him, like, yo, you messed up my room, you should have said it louder to Jade. Like, yeah, we're looking at like, okay, he's a little boy. How would he have stopped Jade? And he did tell him to stop. But in Ethan's eyes, he's like, no, that's my friend. You were my friend. You should have stopped someone who's not my friend from messing with my stuff and taking my stuff. So it was sad seeing Ethan, like, he's like, I'm sorry I made you mad. And Victor's like, okay, And I think that was the best he can do for right now by saying okay and acknowledge it. And I think they will be okay in the next episode or two. So that was just a small scene. Poor little Ethan. He looks so small and sad. But I was like, I forgive Victor. I mean, I would be hella mad too if that was my room and someone did that to it. So, but that is all we got, you guys. This episode was decent. It was not bad. It just gave us a lot. When it came off, I was like, oh, it's over. But I'm excited to see what's happening with Randall. Like, I don't even know if there's any trailers out for next week, but I'm excited. So this episode is coming out late Wednesday night. Typically, they will come out probably Tuesdays because I'll watch it on time on Sunday and then rewatch it again Monday and then podcast Monday and release Tuesday. So if you guys want to be part of the podcast, hit me up, host@theverdictsin.com. You got time. You got a minute. Send me your theories. Let me know what you're thinking. Let me know if any of my theories sound like it's possible or if they just sound crazy. So we'll love to hear from you guys, or you can tweet us at theverdictsin or facebook.com/verdictsin. You write something to me there. We'll discuss it on the podcast. So until next week, I'm Nicole. Talk to you later. Bye.